Welcome, Pre-Calculus, section 2.1, little supplemental demonstration here. We are going to be looking again at the completing the square process that we've done in class. And we've just simplified it a little bit so that we're going to show you how to take an equation, quadratic, x squared minus 6x plus 8 equals 0, and we're going to complete the square. Tedious, but useful. And as I told you in class, the first important thing to look at would be that the lead coefficient is a 1. And if it isn't, what we have to do is we have to factor out the common factor from these first two terms. So here we see the lead coefficient is a 1, so we get to skip that step. And so as we copy in parentheses to separate these first two terms, and we leave a little bit of space for the next operation, what we're going to do is we're going to take this number, we're going to look at that coefficient, and we're going to remember the sign. Remember that the sign is important. This coefficient is a negative 6, and what we have to do is take half of that. And then once we take half of that, we're going to square it and add it back in. Now to keep this whole thing balanced, we've just added 9 to this side of the equal sign. Now we either would need to add 9 more over here, or we can subtract the 9 back, and that will keep it balanced. So we've added 9 to our original equation, then we've subtracted 9. It's still balanced, and the reason we did that is because now we have what we call a perfect square binomial. This quadratic factors into a perfect square, x minus 3, x minus half of this times itself. Now that's the purpose in doing these steps, is to get that perfect square binomial. Once we've done that, as you can see, we end up with the quadratic in standard form. And now we have our h and our k. Take out here the center, the vertex of our parabola. If you remember, x minus h squared plus k equals 0 means that the vertex is at h comma k. The vertex of our parabola. So here we can find our vertex is going to be at 3, negative 1. 3, negative 1. And so if we were graphing that, we simply have old school technology, we call this graph paper. Okay, so we go over to 3, down 1, there's our vertex, and since the lead coefficient is positive, it opens up, and since the lead coefficient is 1, we can pretty much gauge that it's not going to have much of a stretch to it. We could go ahead and graph that by simply plugging in, let's plug in when x is 2 and when x is 1. We'll do 2 points on the left side of that. So we plug in 1 and 2. And so we have 1 squared is 1 minus 6 times 1. That's negative 5 plus 8. Right? 1 squared minus 6 times 1 plus 8. This is f of 1. F of 1. 1 squared, 1 minus 6 plus 8. 1 minus 6, negative 5, plus 8 is 3. Now let's plug in and do f of 2. F of 2 would be 2 squared minus 6 times 2 plus 8. This is 4 minus 12 plus 8. 4 and 8 happen to make 12 minus 12 is 0. And so we find 2 points on this side and 3, and we mirror those points on the other side because the vertex also contains the axis of symmetry, and we can just graph our parabola by finding 2 points once we find the vertex. If you haven't copied this problem down and worked the steps with me, then you've probably missed out on a great learning opportunity. So why don't you rewind this, copy the problem down, work each step with your own pencil on your own paper, and see the success of getting through it and learning the process. I will be giving you several problems like this in class on Monday. Thank you.